Hello, this is Yon Motgurum. These days it seems like there are two hot trends in the car market. First is Tesla. The iconic electric car, Tesla Model Y, launched in Korea for 49.9 million won. Maybe that's why there are so many comments on the channel saying, buy a Tesla. But if you're buying a Tesla for the first time, you absolutely must test drive it first, because it has a firm ride. Younger people tend to like it. If you like how smoothly domestic cars drive, you may be surprised. For lower trim models especially, be sure to check the ride comfort. And the second hot trend is the Aurora 2 Filante that Renault unveiled last week. It caused quite a stir. The unique style and emotional interior, unlike typical mass-market cars, immediately changed how people viewed Renault. We delivered live updates from the scene on the channel. I didn't expect there would be this much interest. So I asked the influencers and professional journalists at the scene for their impressions. Let's take a look. Just say one word, like or dislike.
Like, totally like.
Totally. Now our exterior design.
Exterior design, like.
Totally like?
Yes, like.
How is it?
It definitely feels like they spent a lot on the design. It's definitely cool, and they've really brought out the volume and three-dimensional feel. Honestly, I thought it was the same car as the Grand Koleos, but now I feel like this design is worth paying more for.
What do you think? First impressions?
I think they've come out with a real hit. So I feel like Renault might shake things up this time. I'm looking forward to it.
Just the design though.
I think the design turned out really well. It might take some time to get used to the front, but overall the side silhouette and the rear look really sporty and well done. It's a luxury Grand Koleos.
Thank you so much.
If I exaggerate, it feels like a Urus.
You're being honest, right?
Really. I'm not saying this because I was invited. Criticizing its design is truly unfair.
It feels like a car from the future. This sense of proportion isn't like the typical SUV shape I'm used to seeing. I was really surprised by those proportions. But I actually asked the designer directly, and they said they were tired of the usual coupe-style SUVs, so they wanted to create a new proportion for SUVs. It's a new genre.
If that's the case, the design turned out really well. I was mainly curious how the ride quality compared to the Grand Koleos, since they share a platform. Naturally, with the higher price, you'd expect a more luxurious ride. The biggest difference between the previously released Grand Koleos and the newly launched Filante is that the Filante is equipped with frequency-sensitive dampers, which complete the ride quality. If you look at the catalog, it says that by applying frequency-sensitive dampers, it provides excellent handling and the best ride quality on any road surface. That's what it says. But here's the thing. Excellent handling has already been proven with the Grand Koleos. On this channel, we've mentioned several times that among its class, the Grand Koleos is undoubtedly the top when it comes to handling and driving performance. Let me show you directly. When inspecting the Grand Koleos' undercarriage with expert Go Min Soo, we initially found two things. The first thing we pointed out was that the part responsible for handling is the motor-driven power steering system from Germany's Zahnradfabrik company. Zahnradfabrik is a supplier whose parts are commonly found in the so-called German Big Three luxury cars. And the steering motor-driven power steering is the key component that determines the direction of the steering. That's why I was surprised. There was something, right?
So, the Koleos is equipped with Zahnradfabrik's drive, belt-driven, motor-driven power steering.
Wow, that's amazing. I felt it was great because of these parts.
Because it has high-quality parts in it.
High-quality parts. So regular cars can also use this Zahnradfabrik.
Since it uses good parts. It offers very precise, delicate and sensitive handling even at the center, and there's no sense of awkwardness.
Even when you turn the steering wheel, it maintains straight line stability. Does it also affect the steering wheel?
That's right. It creates excellent driving performance and straight line stability.
So, the basic driving performance and handling are excellent, optimized by Renault's engineers. So, what are the elements that complete ride comfort? Ride comfort is determined by the suspension, and there are three main key components in the suspension. They are the damper, commonly known as the shock absorber, the spring that quickly absorbs external shocks, and the stabilizer that keeps the car level in situations like rolling from side to side. How you optimize these determines the ride comfort, and depending on the components, a luxurious ride comfort can be achieved. The Grand Koleos, which shares the same platform, is well regarded for its first-row ride comfort. It has a somewhat firm and solid character, but it shows stable movement. Even though it's a mass-market car, it delivers handling similar to that of the German Big Three, especially considering that it's not a low-slung sedan, but a high-riding SUV. I've already mentioned several times that, in terms of driving performance, I believe it's the best among mass-market cars. But personally, what I find a bit disappointing is that the second row, which families often use, feels a bit firm. Let me explain, starting with the suspension structure. What is this? Spring?
I wondered why they made it so stiff, and even the thickness of the rear springs in the second row is thicker than the previous model.
That's why it feels stiff.
It's stiff, really stiff.
Because of the firm suspension setup, Korean consumers wanted something a bit softer, but this time, a frequency-sensitive damper has been applied to the Filante. This is good news not only for those buying a new Filante, but also for existing Grand Koleos owners. The reason I'm saying this is because, first of all, these are genuine parts, optimized by Renault engineers. For reference, the Grand Koleos has a standard multi-frequency band damper, while the Filante features a frequency-sensitive damper. In other words, although these are parts from different categories, there's a very high possibility that the parts are compatible. So why does this matter? In a suspension system, springs and stabilizers most affect ride comfort. When discussing better ride comfort, people often suggest replacing the suspension. This is the shock absorber or damper. While driving, all four wheels of a car are constantly going up and down and absorbing shocks as they make contact with the road. And in situations like potholes, the initial impact is absorbed by the spring as it compresses. But if the compressed spring rebounds too quickly, you'll feel a lot of jolts inside the car, almost like you're bouncing on a pogo stick. That's why the damper is important along with the spring. It helps the car recover smoothly from shocks, ensuring a comfortable ride. Now we need to learn about this damper. The standard type of damper used in most cars is a manual suspension. This is the traditional method. It doesn't change depending on the road conditions, but provides the same damping force in all situations. So, you could say its responsiveness is a bit lacking. But why do we use this? It's used because the structure is simple, it's cheap, and it's durable. That's why this method is applied to most cars. The damper used in the Grand Koleos is similar to this type, and the improved version of this is the frequency-sensitive damper. We've talked a lot about frequency-sensitive dampers on the channel whenever a new car comes out. We've mentioned that frequency-sensitive dampers are now on the latest Genesis G80 Grandeur, Palisade, Sonata, Santa Fe, and Sorento. A frequency-sensitive damper is a damper that classifies frequencies into low and high frequencies and responds according to the road conditions. The image shows high frequencies on the left and low frequencies on the right. The road surface changes as the vehicle moves. If the road is good, it responds smoothly. On the other hand, in situations where there is severe rolling or pitching, the damper tightens up firmly. Inside the damper, there is a path called a flow channel where oil flows, and this path changes differently in the high frequency and low frequency ranges. Adjusting the suspension's firmness or softness is precisely the role of the frequency-sensitive damper. So, to put it simply, if the multi-frequency band damper used in Grand Koleos is a mechanical or manual damper, then the Filante uses a frequency-sensitive damper, which can be called a semi-automatic damper. There might be some parts of my explanation that are a bit lacking because I'm trying to make it easy for you to understand, so please keep that in mind. Now, things are a bit clearer, right? With the frequency-sensitive damper applied to the Filante this time, I expect that the ride comfort has improved quite a bit. This could also further improve second-row ride comfort in the current Grand Koleos. From a platform perspective, most dampers are compatible. However, if there's a variable, Filante is a much larger vehicle and its curb weight is also a bit higher. Also, from a physical standpoint, Filante's overall height is a bit lower. Once the vehicle is released, we'll try installing Filante's suspension in the Grand Koleos with car expert Go Min-soo's help. We'll let you know the results. To conclude this video, with the frequency-sensitive dampers applied, Filante's driving performance and ride comfort seem to have improved to another level compared to the Grand Koleos. That's all I've prepared for this video. If you want to automatically receive the next video without waiting, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Thank you. If this was helpful, please give it a like, subscribe and turn on notifications to get accurate new car information quickly. Thank you.